Guys come Saturday night, Corpus Christi has got one hell of a fight card. I mean, to say the least. We've got champions, we've got people, former champions. You got nothing but bangers out here on this card.
The best fighter in the world is this Tavares Cloud. He's the guy that's just like Paul Williams. There's a welterweight, and then there's a super welterweight or whatever he's fighting at. He throws punches and punches, and he goes out there to fight. So you're in for a fight that you're going to see a give and take, and you're going to see more give than you see take. And that's what's going to make this card a super card in Corpus Christi. And I'm delighted that Dan invited me to be a part of it, and I'm thrilled beyond description or depiction. This is going to be a fight, and I invite each and every one of you to call a friend and let them know what's happening on Saturday night and get with Showtime. And Stephen Espinosa, you outdone yourself. This is a magnificent card.
At this stage of boxing, you just want to present the best fights there are. And sometimes you're going to have some of the greatest fights when you don't have the recognizable name. So you take Noburu Shida, okay? That's a tongue twister, Don, okay? I mean, I would expect at least you'd be able to help me out there every once in a while. But you take the Shida, you know, how many people know who he is? But we do know that he knocked out James Kirkland. So he might be an underdog, but he's a live underdog because he was an underdog to Kirkland. So it's those type of fights that you have Paul Williams, who's a two-time former world champion. People know who he is. It's Ishida who's the dark horse out there. And those are the type of fights we like to give. Yeah, you know, Don, I'm just along for the ride with Tavares Cloud and Campillo. And quite frankly, I think that's anybody's fight. And make no mistake about it, I like Tavares Cloud. I think he is probably the preeminent light heavyweight out there today. But Campillo's been there, done that, and he's a tough foe to handle. I must admit, when it comes to Arreola and Molina, I got a little nervous with the way Don was talking, okay? I mean, you know, it's true. There were, you know, when we made this fight, it seemed like the best fight. But, you know, in my short time in this business, closing in on 30 years, I've realized one thing. From the outset, when you make a fight, it's the best fight you could ever make. I mean, what a decision. But the closer you get to a fight, you start questioning yourself. And you say, oh, my God, did I make a mistake? So it's these type of press conferences. It's the word that we hear about how Molina's training, how he's anxious, how he's going to utilize Arreola as the way to get his fame and fortune. So you start putting all those things together. And like Ishida with Kirkland, you've always got that ability to pull the miracle on ice, so to speak, okay? So, you know, as it relates to Saturday night, just a great fight, a great event from top to bottom, and the fans are going to love it worldwide.
This is a fight that everybody wants to see. The fans are the winner. You know, we can predict, prognosticate, speculate as to who we think, and we have a little biases there because each one is going to go for his respective client of what he's trying to do. I like to put the best against the best. I will put brother against brother. You know, after all, Cain slew Abel. You know what I mean? But the idea is you got to be able to deal with what is real. They got to be good fighters. And when you put on good fights, irrespective to who wins, to get his hand raised, the public as such, they are the true winners. And that's what makes them say, when is the next show? When is the next one? Because this is what you want to hear them say when they go out the arena. Wow, what a nice fight.
This is no cupcake card. This is a card that the fight fans of Corpus Christi, Texas have to be proud to have in their hometown.
And like you said, Rodney, if it's going to be cupcakes, you got to be a baker. You know what I mean? You got to get in the kitchen and whip up some stuff, you know what I mean, and put some icing on it. That's what's been wrong, and that's what's been killing boxing. And so now we want to be able to put fighter against fighter and just, you know, go out there and let them do what they got to do. We can talk all day long. They got to do the fighting in the center of the ring. And the man who has the will to win, I don't care who he is, that's what they wouldn't have wrote the word upset. You know what I mean? And so this is what makes boxing so different from any other sport, because it's man to man. And you know, and yesterday's nobody is tomorrow's somebody. I'm praying for tomorrow's somebody because I got yesterday's nobody. You know what I mean? And so I ain't got no question about it, but it would give me a special thrill to beat Dan. If I could beat Dan, that would be what I want. You don't know what it means to me. He told me my fighter would be knocked out in 6 rounds. Another guy said 2 rounds. I ain't even looking at him getting knocked out. I'm looking at him knocking out Chris Arreola. Olo. You know, we say the way in Italian. Olo.
You're trying to make him Italian again.
No, Olo. You said I put the O to it. Chris Arreola.